Hello and welcome everyone. You're tuned in live to the Wildcat Sanctuary. I see one of our rescued residents puzzling out a tasty snack. That is rescued lynx Meeko. It was part of a Minnesota rescue that happened earlier this year. The Wildcat Sanctuary was able to rescue 2 lynx and 3 bobcats from a breeding facility right here in Minnesota. Some of the worst conditions that we had rescued cats from in years. And seeing a cat like Meeko puzzle through a puzzle feeder in his free-roaming habitat, now that just puts a smile on my face and then some. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. Sherry V checking in. Marcy Sanborn's here. Meeko is trying to drag the puzzle feeder out of frame here, but don't worry, I'll catch him. Tanya Toner here. Hey, Tanya. Susan Mensa. Lois A. Who else is here? Sherry V, I think I already saw you, Sherry. But hope all is well on this Friday, everyone. I can zoom out for a moment. We are right across the way from Cougar Cove, what we call kind of Cougar Island here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And Meeko and Ripley just received some tuna enrichment. And that tuna enrichment was placed in this puzzle feeder. So they had their habitat cleaned. They had some enrichment placed. Pretty typical kind of pace for what it's like to go into one of our cats' habitats. Is obviously we want to, if we're going to be shifting them out of the habitat, we want to be doing something while we're in there. That means we're going to be cleaning up poop. That means that we're going to be picking up old enrichment. And then obviously it means we're going to be taking that opportunity, placing new enrichment. And Ripley's in the background there. She was up here having fun with her puzzle feeder as well, but now she is having fun with Bobcat Buddy across the way. But that's Mr. Meeko here, who truthfully, Ripley in the background, it's usually Ripley who kind of steals the show. So I'm glad to have Mr. Meeko hanging out here. Holy buckets, Marcy Sanborn. No power where you are, and pretty much in the entire state of New Hampshire, going on 12 hours of snow. I was just saw a news article this morning about what's happening on the East Coast, Marcy, and wow is all I can say. And first of all, hope you're staying safe. Second of all, hope you're staying warm and maybe trying to find the silver linings where you can. A lot of snow can be whimsical, a little fantastical, so maybe we can like I said, find those silver linings with whatever crazy amounts of snow you're dealing with. Oh my gosh, this is like the doomsday almost. Look, an earthquake in New Jersey, someone was commenting. Adrian, your office building was shaking. Oh my word. That is wild, and I'm glad you're safe. Mid 70s today in Denver for Chizzy. Quite a stark contrast from the 2 other comparisons we just had. Hey, Liz Green, glad to have you. Belinda Dissinger saying hi. Hope all is well, Belinda. Yeah, thanks for that love. Yep, getting those feet clean, Betty Winter. And speaking of those lynx feet, I just love seeing, obviously with the wildcats here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, the wild adaptations that make them proficient hunters, that make them, proficient wild animals, whether it's the tiger stripes that are able to break up the pattern when they're stalking their prey. Maybe it's the big lynx feet that kind of act as snowshoes as they're walking through the deep snow where a lot of their natural habitat is found. What do you think, Mr. Goofball? Mr. Jeremy across the way. Looking for any extra chicken morsels along his habitat wall there. And welcome, everyone. If you're just joining us, you're tuned in live here to the Wildcat Sanctuary. It is a truly beautiful, beautiful Friday here. We are ticking into the 50-degree mark. I wouldn't be surprised if it even tickles 60 today. Not a lot of wind. Cats are out. I'm ready to be out. Kind of tackled some morning stuff today. The interns are out doing some documenting in this beautiful weather for some posting this weekend. And all in all, Shadow, it's just a great Friday. Yeah, I'm here too. And Shadow is, you know, just every spring, she kind of just gets hit with, you know, a little bit of the green paw or green thumb, if you will. And Shadow kind of turns into a little bit of an arborist. She kind of goes after her twigs, her some of the fresh grass that's coming up. Believe it or not, I have seen some green blades of grass showing up. But it seems like Shadow's just up to no good. And glad to see Miss Shadow. We would have heard an update on her yesterday during Tammy's Wildcat wrap-up as well, and how they've been doing in their older but nonetheless, good to check in with those two and still see that as they age and as we kind of monitor their quality of life, that, you know, these cats are doing fine in the days that we get to visit them, and glad that we can hear those updates and then check in with them and maintain those updates with those. Well, let's see here. Maybe Miss Tao is up and out. I would love to see Bobcat Tao. Or maybe I shouldn't say up and out. She's probably napping somewhere, but a good spot where I'm sure we could see her. I'll admit that now I'm seeing that the caretakers are over in Aurora Ridge, so maybe they might have some cats shifted in, so we're going to make a U-turn. And Chizzy, darn internet is right. I saw a little drop there. Truthfully, that's why I'm a little tardy to my live post today, because the internet in the animal care center was being funky. Look at the Tiger brothers playing tag. Alrighty. But I kind of wanted to have a true blue sanctuary stroll and just kind of see where the wind blows us, so to speak. Got to see Jeremy earlier. Looks like that's his brother Simon across the way, tending to a rather well-loved ball. I mean, just look at that thing. It's scarred up as it can be. That heavy-duty plastic is no match for those tiger claws and tiger teeth. Well, I should say it very much is a match, because that's a years old ball, and none of that plastic is flaking off or anything like that. But yowzer. That's right, Ellen. Amazing that all the snow is almost gone. It happened so quickly and left so quickly, didn't it? And that's right, Maria. Nice sunny day here at the sanctuary. Tiger zoomies, Patricia Glenn. I saw that. I wish I could have got a better angle. Whenever any of the cats kind of pick up speed, you know, it even kind of takes my breath away. It's obviously seeing, you know, any type of animal move fast, but these 400-pound apex predators, these tigers, and knowing that they're moving fast and having fun and kind of being, you know, just being brothers and siblings with each other, really something I think us humans can identify with. I'm just scrolling through a few more comments before I get moving. Let's see, Stuart's here. Glad to have you, Stuart. Good evening. Karen Nash is here. Hey, Karen. Danielle Zelter is here. Hey, Danielle. Glad to have you with us. It looks like Simon's taking up probably one of their favorite hangout spots, which is going to be the tallest platform in their free-roaming habitat, way, way far back there. Cave, pools, another perching platform over there. Glad we got to hang out with these boys earlier this week, too, which was nice. All right, let's see. Admittedly, Sofi and Gino are in a lovely spot, so maybe we can go check in with those two special lions. Happy Friday to you too, Debbie Sams. Glad to have you with us. And you send my best to Brianna as well. Oh, and Pandora's in a great spot too, so I would actually like to go and see Tigress Pandora first. She is sitting in her giant tiger bed. And I love those giant, well, I should specify here, we have lots of different types of tiger beds. Well, this is a tiger bed made out of fire hose hammock. And I even have a photo of myself laying down in this tiger bed when we had Pandora shifted out and doing some cleaning, because it's just the dang biggest thing ever. And we know that Pandora is she's one of our more petite tigers. And when you see that thing kind of swallowing her up, she looks like a serval, sitting in one of their hammocks, fire hose hammocks. But you look at Pandora, we know she's still tiger, but she's a little bit more petite. But that bed is huge, and it just swallows her up. Karen Deacon saying, "My girl Pandora." That is right. Look at this special lady enjoying this sunny morning here. She's got a little ball here, and I love that ball, truthfully, that she has in her bed as well. It looks just like a normal little ball, but it's actually a weighted ball. Half of it's weighted, half of it's hollow. And any of the toys, kind of like the Tipsy Toms, the Tipsy Titans, we have some of we kind of call them pills, which are more kind of, just looks like a giant pill almost. Often those are offset and have weights in one side and not the other, and anything that's going to act irregularly, anything that where the cat thinks it's going to roll and it doesn't, is always a hit. And Pandora, she says, I'm going to settle in this way. And again, talk about the size of that. She just went from one side of her bed to the other, and still has plenty of room. Look at Thor Jr. in the background there. But just a major cat bed. I'd say that that's probably one of the most epic cat beds in the history of cat beds, if I may say so myself, Miss Pandora. And we would have seen the caretakers I mentioned earlier in this post, that they're up at the building. So Pandora, as we can tell, is licking her paws, which is giving us an indication that she just had her meal for the day. So just like we saw the caretakers placing enrichment for Meeko and Ripley, they stopped over here to Aurora Ridge and did their feeding, and I think they were in here doing some cleaning earlier this week. So you're already checked off the list, Miss Pandora. Yeah, it is huge, Ellen. It is a big bed for a big tiger. And I remember, I think it was intern Clayton and I were helping out and doing some cleaning in a habitat way back when, and they had just actually power washed this bed. These beds are power washes to make sure we're keeping them clean and that the weather isn't getting the best of them. And I just had to kind of lay down in it for a moment, and Clayton snapped a photo of it. It was very fun. And quite comfy, admittedly, quite comfy. I could shack up in one of those beds if had one in my apartment, no problem, Alana and Aurora. The ground's definitely a little wet. Not nearly as wet as probably would have been if we really would have received a true Minnesota winter. But Alana and Aurora, wow. I think Alana and Aurora are certainly some of our more curious rescues. And they like just plugging in. They like seeing what's going on around them, be it humans or cats. So they're obviously looking across. That caught his attention, their attention as well. We see pretty gals. Looks like Alana down below, and it'd be Aurora down on the ground here. Maria P saying, I love these sisters. Certainly our special lions, aren't they? And I saw someone kind of commenting, we posted a video of the girls inside in their indoor bedroom, and then right across the way was the Ukraine Pride. And someone commented, how are the girls doing since their move, and have they, they're kind of getting along with everyone, and maybe not fixating or just being a little too overzealous about their new lion neighbors. And everyone's been awesome. I think that they still have, maybe a keen eye for Taras, that male lion across the way. But certainly not overly fixating on cats like Gino and Sofi, who truthfully are right behind me. And obviously the Ukraine pride, they haven't been intimidating or, you know, making them feel less than because they're smaller lions or anything like that. But Ellen, that is an accurate description, if there ever could be one, for these two gals. They are the sanctuary snooppervisors. They always, oh my, they always have something to inspect. But look at this. Before I walk over, we have a double mother-son, legs in the air and bellies being sunned here. I wanted to kind of capture this funny and cute moment before I just get a little bit closer here. But that was lions Gino and Sofi, who are just so happy, so content, so thankful for their rescued lives that they are going to show their bellies to the sun. Exactly right, Dario. They all just needed time to get used to each other. Exactly, and that's, you know, and that time is obviously still, you know, calculated and concerted, and that's certainly one of the reasons why you guys support us, is because, you know, it's a big deal moving lions to a new habitat. And even we can look at lions like Alana and Aurora and think that they're happy-go-lucky and they go with the flow with anything, but they also have their own kind of unique preferences, and they can be, you know, sensitive about things. And so I'm glad that you even see that. If it takes a little time to adjust, and we are right there to kind of monitor to see that they are indeed adjusting. Oh my word. All right, Sofi and Gino, this is so special. They have no worries, says Judy Brecky. I could not agree more. Good morning, Shannon J. Mason. Glad to have you with us. Yeah, Henyata, I still say Sofi and Kimba sometimes. Miss that handsome guy. You bet we are, you know, and not in a bad way, you know, Gino, we love you, mister. But you bet that Kimba gets kind of flip-flop with Gino's name a lot when we mention Sofi and Gino, thinking about Sofi and Kimba. And I'm guilty of that flip-flopping. I'll say Tammy. Tammy's guilty of that flip-flopping. But it happens. We mean you miss no ill will, Mr. Gino. We love you so. Let me zoom in a little bit more on Gino's mug here. What's Mom doing? Is she gonna go full flip here? And I'm telling you, I'm kind of here in my jacket, and I kind of feel overdressed. It is a really awesome day. I mentioned that it's going to get up into the mid-50s today. I wouldn't be surprised if we even tickled that 60 mark. And the cats are loving it, and I'm loving it. It's certainly been productive here at the sanctuary. Tammy giving lots of kind of updates on the Catio Town pre-construction or demolition. And man, it's kind of just that time of year, as we say, of just the momentum is slowly gaining towards summer, to where we're going to be able to knock out these construction projects for the humans, for the cats, and I cannot wait for it. Ricky Lay, good morning. Glad to have you with us. And Jackie P, thank you for those 50 stars. And I'd be remiss, looks like Torben's given some stars. I think I can even click and see. Yeah, awesome. So Jackie, you gave 50 stars. I appreciate that. Patricia Glenn, 200 stars. Much appreciated. 20 stars from Diane. Thank you, Diane. 200 stars from Sherry. Thank you, Sherry. And then 200 stars from Torben. Thank you, everyone. It's cool. I can kind of go into that little menu, Gino. But just to give some context, if everyone's just joining us here, I've kind of been zoomed in. But we were hanging out with two of our rescued residents. That's lions, Gino and Sofi. As a matter of fact, they are mother and son. And these two are just two of our rescued residents living wild at heart here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And living wild at heart on their own terms, whether they want to be sunning their bellies like this, whether they want to be playing and puzzling some enrichment, like we saw Mr. Meeko the lynx at the beginning of the live post. You know, these cats get to live life as they see fit, and that's because of what you afford them through your support. She says, all right, the belly got enough sun. You don't want to start the summer off with a sunburn on your belly, Miss Sofi. All right, you two lazy lions. We'll let this special pair keep enjoying themselves. Alana and Aurora are still stationed. This would be a cool photo. I like this framing. And they're still stationed up on their percher platform. It is funny, last time we saw these girls, it was kind of like they're on an island right here in their little cabana, and there was snow everywhere. Gosh, it's so fun. The snow came and it went, girls. And Yada talking about Catio Town, getting excited for a stable internet connection. You have no idea. I might just melt knowing that I'm going to be able to do consistent live posts with some of my favorite rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. You have no idea how much it hurts me that I cannot visit with our hybrid rescues and share their lives in as much detail as I'm able to with some of the big cats down here where we have better internet service. So that is going to be, wow, that's going to be a very special moment for me, because that's a very special group of our rescue population who, I hate to say it, it just, the internet beats us up out there, and we're not able to, you know, make sure that their stories and their, you know, kind of plight within the captive wildlife crisis is communicated clearly on these live posts. So that's going to make me feel a lot better. Let's see here. Speaking of enrichment, I'm going to go across the way over to Cougar Co. Of course, I saw, I think Langley knocking around a ball for a moment, and of course she gets up and heads the other way. But I also see Ramsey and another cougar on top of a cave. But speaking of things on top of caves, this might be one of those sanctuary treks, as I trademarked the other week, Taras. We just need to get a little dose of Maine before we keep moving. Yeah, and I mean, talk about you know, kind of proof is in the pudding for the cats. You know, I could tell you that it's warm out today, but I think you could just look at the cats and tell how direct that sun feels and how there's not a lot of wind. And yeah, I think it's really really looking like the cats are the thermometer for me today. I could tell you all the live long day how beautiful and warm it is, but just look at all these sunning cats. And awesome, Daria. That makes me happy. You mentioning that Julie, of our dedicated volunteers, who I would be just a shell without Julie, keeping you up to date on all your little sponsors, and we love hearing that. Here we have, and speaking of Daria, I think that's Donoma up on the cave here, so we're going to be seeing that handsome man in just a moment. Marcy, your power is back. Look at that. I've been doing this live post for so long. Marcy's been without power, and now she has power again. But that's awesome. Get that heat on, get warm. And just take a much-deserved deep breath. Well, howdy, Mr. Donoma. I'm going to catch up on some comments, and then I'm going to zoom in on your handsome face. But I always like starting with a wide shot, because I think you look so pretty presiding over all this space that your support, that the people's support gets you. It is such a lovely habitat. caves, trees, platforms, perches, balls, you name it. Your support has made it possible for this group. And who do we have here? I was just about to go through the comments, Mr. Noah. I see a little bedding on your head. Like, were you and Langley having a cuddle puddle in there? You and your sister are having a cuddle puddle. And my feet are not chicken pieces. Yeah. My feet are my feet, not chicken pieces. He says, all right, all right. All right. You zoom in on Mr. Donoma, then I'll catch up on some comments. Exactly, Helen. Lots of sunbathers, I'm telling you. I could... You can just look at the cats and tell how beautiful of a day it is. Liz Green saying, I love the 5 wild habitats. So much to keep these cougars happy. And I agree. I'm also just waiting. Their habitat, too, is not only kind of dynamic in some of the things I was just talking about, the caves, the perches, toys, things like that. But it comes in awesomely and grows in super full during the summer months. And they love just finding a big, tall patch of grass and bedding down right in the middle of it. And those are some of my favorite moments to catch this cougar group in. So maybe I misspoke, Marcy. I was maybe reading someone else's comment and misspoke. I apologize. But maybe since I'm always jinxing you, that'll be a jinx in the right way. And Donoma, you look so pretty. He says, I'm getting all cleaned up. I just had my meal. Let's see if I can zoom in on you grooming a little bit. There we go. This is better for me. Tanya saying I shared this post. Thank you for that, Tanya. Getting the word out on the cats here, and we always say that sharing is an excellent way to help the cats here. And the best part is, and my favorite part is, it is free. Let's see, can this go? We can go even further, Donoma. Here we come. These iPhones can really zoom in these days. Yeah, look at that, Mr. Handsome. But Tammy mentioned yesterday that we are really gaining momentum with the Catio Town teardown, or I should maybe say the hybrid haven teardown and deconstruction. And man, it's just exciting to think. I was kind of mentioning earlier in the live post that what is summer for the Wildcat Sanctuary, who's, maybe not this winter, but typically locked in ice and snow for about 5 months out of the year. That means that we're limited. I could even say 6 months. It means that we're limited to only about half of the year where we can be productive and keep up on construction projects and keep up on maintaining, perches and platforms after they've been maybe had by winter. So it's a busy time of year, and I'm just kind of feeling the euphoria a little bit, and I'm excited about all that's going to be happening here. And I just think that it's when there's kind of constant motion here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, it's cool to think that because we're always wanting to build better for the cats and for the people that are supporting us. So that's just kind of one of the feelings that I get during construction season is one of the fact that all this hustle and bustle is for a reason, is because people are out there supporting us and allowing us to take the next step for our rescues and keep on evolving the Wildcat Sanctuary. Well, look at who we have here. Well, I am just so happy we get to see this pretty gal. And make sure I can see this pretty gal. There we go. There's Beauty the lynx, framed in some beautiful pine branches, who she just seems to be looking up at Wildcat Pines. She's got better things to do, apparently, but Beauty, we love checking in on you. you talking, Beauty? Oh, man, Beauty still kind of has her winter coat on, and I'm also kind of sitting here and thinking, hearing some birds chirping in the background. That's somewhat of a new sensation. There's a robin over there on the ground. Now that is very spring feeling, Miss Beauty. Hey, pretty girl. Yeah, you look so marvelous right now. Patricia Glenn checking out. Got to run. I'll catch the end of the walk on the replay. Everyone, have a great weekend. Thank you, Patricia. Glad to have you with us. And we just love when we get to do sanctuary strolls and when people get to enjoy and plug in like that, Patricia. That makes me so happy. And Miss Beauty here, she is just such a special gal. And I'm kind of going to zoom in here. You might see her. She's been vocalizing here. Wow. You know, and I don't want to speak over Miss Beauty because I love hearing these types of vocalizations for her. It's pretty rare that I'll catch it, let alone on a live post. But the Eurasian lynx will kind of hoo like that sometimes. Aria, one of our other rescued Eurasian lynx, she's a big hoo kind of hooer. And it almost can get a little like kind of throaty, like a whole I'd embarrass myself trying to replicate the noise, but we'll just call it a hoo. But anybody, maybe it might have been hard to hear, but you could have seen her mouth moving, Beauty doing her little lynx hooing. You're chatty. Is it all the birds? Or maybe I think I do hear Bogart in the distance too. Bogart can get a little chatty. He says off and away. I just love that. I love it when the cats come up and greet us, but truthfully, I love it when they walk the opposite way to go do something else in their free roaming habitat. You know, off Beauty goes. Maybe she's going to go and visit with the cheetah boys who I saw along their shared wall. Maybe she's going to go check into her indoor bedroom. Beauty has got her own agenda, and I just love that. It just very much entertains me, makes me laugh to myself. All righty. I saw Ramsey. I was really hoping. Oh, there he is. Or is that Brianna, maybe? We'll walk over to the front of the building and see if maybe Ramsey's coming in a bit out of his room, into his room. Oh, there he is. He says, I'm sitting right here. He's right up near the front of his room, sitting outside one of the two doors that lead into both of the bedrooms that are attached to this habitat. Ramsey, we know, lives with the one and only Brianna, the bobcat, such a lovely gal. Might be an awkward angle, Mr. Ramsey, now that I'm thinking about it. But we'll try. Maria P. asking, how are the cheetah boys doing? We got to see them in the background for a moment. Hey, Mr. Ramsey. It's kind of a hard angle to see such a handsome lynx over here. But Tammy did give a good update on both Kitu and Mavani yesterday. That both of those boys are showing signs of their age and can be a little reluctant sometimes about taking their medication, understandably so, just like any person. But she does kind of go into detail about some of the adjustments that we're going to be making for those boys to ensure a quality of life. But they're both doing well today, walking around, enjoying the sun. I can only imagine, just like all of the cats we've been seeing on this post, that they're enjoying a little vitamin D today. But that is why I love those Wildcat wrap-ups, is because Tammy does a great job of going into detail on kind of observations that have been made by the caretakers, and then kind of our response to how we're going to help these cats in these situations, be it Shadow or Leo, be it the Cheetah brothers, and some of the any of the other cats that we've had health concerns with as of late. I couldn't really get a good shot of Ramsey, so I wanted to come over and see if there was another lynx still puzzling out some food. But it might be lynxless here. We'll see. But if not, I think we had a darn good sanctuary stroll, and I appreciate everyone tuning along with us today. There's somewhere in here. I'm still kind of nailing down some of Meeko and Ripley's favorite hangout spots. A lot of the times they'll like kind of these patches of kind of small trees and bushes, but I just have a big hunch that once the habitats really start coming in, it's totally going to remap it for them, and it's going to be not in a bad way, but even more. Well, there you are. Even more trying to find a lynx in one of these habitats. And I think this is Ripley here. She says, "Off and away." Ripley, that's good that we got to see you, because I think we were just hanging out with your brother the whole time at the beginning of the live. And she says, "Yeah, let me do a little puzzling here. Let me do a little puzzling." Thanks for saying that, Maria, that it was a great stroll today. Same with you, Phyllis. Thank you for the great Friday stroll, Judson. I wish the entire TWS family a wonderful first weekend of April. What a pleasant message, Phyllis, and I wish the same to you, and I'll be sure to extend that to everyone here at the Sanctuary. Oh, Sharon, I'm so glad that you mentioned that. Kind of asking about the eclipse, and you're asking, how do we think the cats will act when the total eclipse happens? You live in New York, and about 2 hours ago, we had the... Okay, so I need to look at this. Some other individuals, I think Adrian had mentioned that where she was in New Jersey, there was an earthquake, and you're also on the East Coast. There's snow and there's earthquakes happening. My, oh my, that is frightening, but we'll talk about Monday at least. I hope you're all right, Sharon. But Monday, we know that there is the solar eclipse happening, and how are the cats going to react? Well, we're going to find out on a live post. We're going to be doing kind of pretty much just a sanctuary stroll for kind of leading up to the eclipse, during the eclipse, and then after the eclipse, of just walking around the sanctuary, checking in on the cats, kind of enjoying that kind of special, what's a astronomical event? Is that the right word? It's going to be pretty cool. So we don't know how the cats will react. The research that we've done, we're not worried about any of the cats looking into the sun. They don't do it when the sun is fully exposed, let alone then. So we're not necessarily worried about the health of the cats, but we're more so curious about what it's going to be like. Is there going to be any type of behavior changes? Will it be normal? I'm certainly looking forward to taking photos with some of that unique light that the eclipse is going to give us. So we will see next Monday, and we hope you tune in. It certainly won't be at our normal time. I think we'll just have to make sure that we're aligning up with when the eclipse is going to be happening, and we'll be sure to share that perhaps in a Monday morning post next week, or even over the weekend. I think we'll share that over the weekend, so we have our ducks in a row come Monday, Miss Ripley. And yeah, Daria, I can echo that. I hope all of our supporters on the East Coast are okay today. That is very scary and seems a little regular. So certainly thinking of all of our TWS supporters on the East Coast. I think it was first out snow and now an earthquake. Yowzer. Liz Green, you are in, is it the kind of the path of complete totality, where you'll have total darkness? That's very, very interesting, and it's going to be pretty cool, I can imagine. Maria P., you're also on the East Coast. Yowzer, very scary, and I hope you're all right. Wow, well, I think to that point, it seems like there's, a lot of important things happening in the world, and we will let everybody go and kind of check in with their loved ones and make sure everybody's okay. And I appreciate everyone tuning in on today's live post. Is there just something stinky in there, Miss Ripley? I appreciate everyone tuning in on today's live post. We had a really nice stroll today, I'd say. We started out right here with Canada Lynx Ripley, Canada Lynx Meeko, and then we did what we do best. We just started checking in with some of the rescues here. We saw Shadow, over to the lions, Alana and Aurora, little Gino and Sofi sunning their bellies. So it really was a good stroll, and I hope everyone enjoyed it. And again, our thoughts are certainly with everyone on the East Coast. Scary things happening out there. Please make sure that you're safe, your friends and family are safe. And as I said, you'll be in our thoughts. Thank you, everyone.